We'll open developer guide, CSS developer guide, and in that we'll write few lines of note what we have seen yesterday in inline CSS. In inline CSS, the problems was something like this. I'll open that file, one from inline display file. And one more file from internal, that is also called example one. Okay. Display file I'll run. Output is like this. Like everything is coming in one line. All are printing in one line. And this file also will run. Example. For UL I have written something. I'll remove that. And I will run for the internal page file. Something like this. Color one line is added extra. Font size is added. So you can see I made both the files similar. Both are similar now, similar output. Okay. One is through the inline CSS, another one is through the internal CSS. Now look into the inline CSS example. Display inline, how many times we have written? So many times. Margin left we have written so many times. Correct? So that becomes a duplicate code. Okay, that becomes a duplicate code. That becomes a duplicate code. So duplicate code, if you are writing, then what will happen? So many problem will come, modification problem will come. If you want to, you can say, load this file will become heavy, Google will reject the page. So many reasons. Code point of view also, your code will become heavy. When you look into the internal, you have not added any CSS with HTML. CSS, one line is separate. Only one place. You, for li tag, display inline and margin left 30 px. One place is written, and in current page, how many li will come no matter, all the li will have same feature. So look like when we look into the code point of view, this code look like easy, less code, more output. One place we wrote HTML, and one place we wrote CSS, and multiple place we wrote called HTML. Okay. So in that case, definitely you will not feel better to write this kind of code where the CSS code is many time and output is one time. So in this method, when we write CSS in line CSS, then for that there is some certain rule regulation. 5 types of ways we have, 5 type of method we have. Using that we can write inline, internal, external CSS. Not inline, internal, external, import CSS. Okay. Now look into the syntax. What is that? First is called selector, and then property and value. Now at the place of selector, which tag is written? Li tag. So in the term of HTML, your li is called as a tag. But in the term of CSS, li will be called as a selector. Okay, li will be called as a selector. And in CSS, selector is of total 5 types. We will make a note and then we'll implement one by one, all 5. But before that, first we will write what are the problems are going to come if you are writing under the inline CSS. If you write inline CSS, what are the problems will come and how that is complex. Few lines we can write under the developer guide, under the inline CSS block. Number 1, it is 1-to-1. It is 1-to-1. What that 1-to-1 represent? write CSS code one time and use in HTML, use with HTML, use with HTML only one time. Only one time. Okay, now next point. If you are writing one-to-one, what problem will happen? If code is, or we can write like this, due to one-to-one, due to one-to-one code duplicate will happen. Due to one-to-one, the code duplicate will happen. Okay, due to one-to-one code duplicate will happen. Now, if code duplicate will happen, then what problem? If code is duplicate, then file maintenance will be difficult. Or modification you can write. Modification will be complex. If code is duplicate, then file modification will be complex. If you want to change anything, that will become too tough. Okay, if you want to change anything, that will become too tough. If you want to add something, will be too tough, because same code is again and again. Okay, next line you are writing, if file become heavy, right? If the code is duplicate, then what will happen? File will become heavy. If code is duplicate, then file weight will increase. If code is duplicate, then file weight will increase. Okay. If file is heavy, page loading time may increase. Page loading time may increase. If the page is taking long time to load, what will happen? User will not wait in front of your website. They'll close it and they'll say, I'll see you tomorrow. So you can write here, if page is slow, then user experience may be bad. User experience may be bad. If the page is slow, then User experience may be bad. Right? Next, you can write one more line. Inline CSS, code will get rejected by Google search. Reject by Google search. Inline CSS code will get rejected by Google search. If you are writing a lot of inline CSS in your project may not come in Google search. Google will not give very good priority where it will not come in the Google search. Clear? So many problems are there. Now, because of this problem, we are shifting under the internal CSS. Come to this internal CSS and write inside that. Okay. It is one to many. It is one to many. What that represent? Write CSS code one time and use in HTML many times. Write the CSS code one time and use in HTML how many times? Many times. Okay, come down next. So when you are saying write once and use many times, we can write some more example. Really it is one to many or not. So create one more file, example2.html under the internal CSS. Create one more file, example2.html under the internal CSS folder. Example2.html. Okay, go next. HTML body. Now head is also required now. Head and then call style. Then write call body tag. Come inside the body tag. Okay, inside body tag, write p tag, and for this p tag, put some text. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, anything that is. 3 line of text. Add inside and repeat this p tag 5-6 times. Okay, repeat this p tag how many times? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, n number of time, copy paste. Okay. Okay, then let's go to the style part now. In style part, first for body tag, write some CSS. So body becomes a selector, and for that selector, you are writing some CSS. Okay, background of the body, sky blue color. Margin for body, 0 px. You will find no any gap from anywhere, left, right, top, bottom. Okay, or margin for body you remove. Let it be only background as a sky blue. Okay, already check now. Background is coming sky blue. Background will come as a sky blue. Now we need to write some CSS for p tag. We'll write one place and it will apply all the places. So p becomes a selector. For that you write the CSS. Background of p tag, keep white color. Height of p tag. Okay. Could call mean height. Or height don't mention. Just apply the width. Okay. Width as a 21%. Width. Margin 1%. Padding also 1%. So margin 1% and padding 1%. Margin 1% and padding 1%. When you say margin 1%, how much it will take? Left 1%, right 1%. Become as a 2%. When you say padding 1%, it will take left side also, right side also, even top bottom also. Top bottom we are not calculating. We are calculating left and right. Okay. So 2% will go for margin and 2% will go for the padding. 4%. Now, how much width we are given? 21. So 20% width and 4% margin and padding. Become as a 25%. Now 100 divided by 25? 4. So total 4 block it should generate in one line. Okay, let's write now. Next call float property. Left. We have other option also instead of float, but try this first. Open, save the file and run once. Something like this. In one line, how many? 4 blocks. Equal gap in the left, equal gap in the right. How much gap is in my system? Same gap will be in your system. How many block in my system? Similar number of block in your system. Correct? because it is based on percentage. Now you have written the CSS how many times? One time or many times? CSS we wrote only one time. And paragraph is how many times? 4, 4, 8 and 3, 13 times, correct? 11 times, 11 times. So total 11 time paragraph I have written, but CSS is written only one time. So same CSS is getting applied for all, right? That is called write once and use many times. CSS code we wrote one time and we are using total many times. You can use 1000 times also, there is no problem. Okay, CSS code will be same, HTML will come n number of times. All the HTML will get the same property. We are coming to the same point. Okay. If you want to color, if you want to change the color of the blocks as a different color, something else we have to do. Okay, let's come next. Come to the CSS developer guide now. So hope it is working for everyone. Looking similar or different? Let's check here. Working. Okay. Now come to the developer guide. Write some notes. So there may be a requirement in one page. All paragraphs should not look similar. 2 paragraphs should look similar and 3 paragraphs should look different. Right? Then in that case, how to maintain? You wrote one place paragraph, copy paste done, one place CSS you wrote. Now same CSS is getting applied for all the paragraphs. Right? But requirement will say no, 3 paragraphs should be orange and 3 paragraphs should be blue. So there again problem will come, right? It is not like it is not working, it is working, correct? But if condition comes something else, then this method will not help you. And even you cannot say this method is useless. Method is work, okay? So for that we have 5 methods. Let's write that. CSS has given 5 methods to write CSS, to write one-to-many CSS. CSS is given 5 methods to write one-to-many CSS. What are those? Just now you have written the CSS. For which tag you have written? For P tag, right? You have written for P tag, no? So when you write for a particular P tag, it is called CSS for tag name. You are writing the CSS for a particular tag. So which tag we pointed in this example? We pointed the tag called P. It will apply only for P. It will not apply for div, section, or some other tag. Okay. So you can write here the first CSS for tag name. CSS for tag name. CSS for tag name. This is the first method. Okay. Second method we have CSS for tag group. CSS for tag group. For multiple tags, we can write the same CSS. That is called CSS for a tag group. Next will come CSS by ID. Next will come CSS by class. And one more we have, that is called CSS for parent and child tag. Parent and child tag. CSS for parent and child tag. Okay, so how many methods we wrote? 5 methods. Now we need to create the example for all. How to write the CSS for tag name, how to write the CSS for tag group. Entire world follow these 5 methods. Whichever the CSS you see on internet, all are based on these 5 methods. Okay, whether W3 CSS, Bootstrap CSS, anyone, whoever have written the CSS in the market, all are based on this. Okay, so if the 5 method we will understand, then you can understand anyone CSS code, what he has written. Okay, so let's go. First we'll write here few names. So we'll write example 3. Example 3.html will have this method. Example 4.html will have this method. Example 5.html will have this one. Example 6.html will have this, and example 7.html 7.html will have this. So in one file, we'll understand one method. Finally, after finishing all 5-6 methods, you will be confident when you look into the someone else code, or if you write your own also, you will be sure, okay, what you are doing. Because by then all 5 methods you will cover up. Okay, write it. Then come to the example 3.html file and implement CSS for a tag name. How we can write the CSS for particular tag name. Okay, example 3 file we create. In which folder? Yes, under the internal CSS folder. You can take copy of example 2 first and paste in this. You can reduce the paragraph, let it be 4 paragraph. 4 paragraph, let it be 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep 4 paragraph, reduce the text also. Reduce the text also. Reduce the text also. Okay. Okay, done. Now run this file. Run this file. So what will happen? Wherever the p tag we have, this CSS will get applied. Okay, the CSS we have written in the previous example, same CSS we added here, and we have total paragraph. How many places? 4 places. So in all 4 places, okay, let's even modify also little. Hold on. We can modify little so that, okay, so this is the 4 paragraph. I'll rearrange it. So it will consume less space. It will consume less space. Okay, so 4 paragraph I added with less content. Now under this paragraph, we'll add the height property also. Height is it 200 px. Okay, reduce the paragraph and add the Okay. So let us check now. Hope something like this. Now after that, in the same page, write div tag, div. This is from div 1, 2, 3, 4. Or let's skip 3 times, no problem. Right? Added. Now run your page and see the CSS is getting applied for div also or not. Run your page and check once the CSS what we are written, is it getting applied for division also? No. It get applied only for the P tag. Because the CSS you have not written for div tag. See, the CSS you have written only for which tag? P tag. Even what we wrote for body, it is getting applied for body. What we wrote for P tag, it's getting applied for P tag. We have not written any CSS for div, so it's not applying anything for div. Then again, how to write the CSS for div? Body is one tag, paragraph is another tag, right? So how we wrote for body? Name of the tag, curly bracket, open close something. How we wrote for paragraph? Name of the tag, curly bracket, open close. Similar way, whenever you want to write the CSS for a tag name, write the name of the tag, curly bracket, open close, and inside add the list of property and values. Okay, let's come down. So we'll go here and div will add, and for this div, you can add the width 31.33%, 31.33%. After that, margin only 1%. Okay. So 1% margin why I have given? Because how many division we have inside the page? 3 division. And 100 divided by 3, how much it will come? 33.33. 33.33 width we have not given. Why not? Because 1% you gave as a margin. 1% margin if you are giving, it will take 1% left and 1% right. Top bottom also will take, but we are not adding that in the width. That will come under the height. So width when we are calculating, left 1%, right 1%, 2%. And width how much 1%? How much? 31. 31 plus 2, 33. 33.33 into 3, 100%. Right? Okay, let's come now. Margin is given. Let's apply the background also. Orange color. Background is a orange color. Apply some height as well. Assume 150 pixel. Then apply the float as well. All as a left. Okay, was ready. Save now. Let's look for the div now. What is happening? How many division? Exact 3. and occupied total full width. So here question is whether it's occupying the full width, half is no matter. Matter is of how to write the CSS for a tag name. So we have to write the name of the tag, and for that, whichever the property value you want, you can add inside the flower bracket, curly bracket. Here also tag name, and inside write the property and value. Here also tag name, inside write the property and value. So this method is called CSS for a tag name, right? Not for the tag group, only called CSS for tag name. Okay. One tag name, curly bracket open close, inside add the list of property and value, property and value. Go next. We'll copy this section. This much you will copy and come to the developer guide. We have to add the example. So that we'll come to know how to write the CSS for a tag name. This is working or not? Division? Working? Hope work for everyone. Div is working. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead then. Copy this much and come to the developer guide. And we have written one place CSS for tag name. Come inside, right here call example. And under the example section, you paste this. Under the example section, you paste this. And write one simple line here. That represent CSS for tag name. How can you write the CSS for a tag name? Using this method, you can write the CSS for a tag name. You can write the CSS for a tag. Okay, done. Next, we have to see how we can write the CSS for tag group. So for that, we are not mixing all together. Keep in mind, each and every example is separate systematically. Inline example is under the inline folder. Internal example under the internal folder. Okay. This rule what we are writing, ID, class, tag group and all, it is applicable for internal, external and import. These 5 methods what we are learning, it is same for inline, internal, external and import, not for inline, internal, external and import. Okay, inline is not in the, you can say discussion itself, you cut it out. Don't remember that also, is okay. But remember from where? Internal onwards. Internal, external and import. Import you forget also fine, but internal and external don't forget. These two are the main one. In both also, external is the best one that everyone uses. Okay. Okay, let's implement. Automatically we'll come to know which one is the best. Now create the example number 4. So how to write the CSS for tag name? Name of the tag, curly bracket open, curly bracket close, inside the multiple property and value separated by semicolon. In current page, wherever you use the particular tag, that property value will get applied. Okay. HTML open close. Head open close. Style also open close. Body open close. Inside the body tag, write H1 something. Welcome home. Paragraph. Home page is working. H2. This is from H2. Okay. Write some more tag called label. Label here. Next tag. H3. This is from H3. Hope written. Come up now. Write for body tag. Background green color. Complete page background will convert into green. Okay. Next, after that, we have written multiple type of tag. H1, H2, H3, label, paragraph, correct? Now, we want to apply some feature in such a way that should get applied for all the tags. When you want to write a single tag, that's called CSS for tag name. That is here you have written. For body, you wrote background is a green. So for body, what will happen? Background will convert into green. Single tag name. It's called CSS for tag name. Now you are writing called CSS for a tag group. H2, H1, H3, paragraph, label. So this all becomes a group now, separated by comma. Multiple tag, single tag name if you are writing, then CSS for tag name. Multiple tag name if you are writing separated by comma, then becomes a group of the tag. Okay. Now under this group, whichever the CSS will write, it will apply for all. For example, color as white and font hyphen style italic. Font hyphen style as italic. Okay, done. Save now, sequence. Paragraph H1, H2, H3 label all are in white color and all are italic or not? Something like this. All are italic plus font size is different because all are different tag. All have their own. And what is the common? Color as well as font style. So this method will be called CSS for a tag group. We'll copy this part and we'll paste in developer guide as an example. When you are writing the single tag name, becomes a CSS for tag name. When you are writing multiple tag names separated by comma, becomes CSS for a tag group. Okay, multiple tag becomes a group, and for that we apply the CSS. So it will be applicable for all the tags. Copied. Come to the developer guide. Go for the second section. Right under the example. Okay. Save now. Let's come to the next file. That is CSS for ID. How to write the CSS for a ID. Okay. Example 5. Head style. Open the body, close the body. Now right inside one div tag called header. After that, two more division tag. Left block, middle block, right block. Left block, middle block, right. Now all are the division itself. Total how many division? 4 division. And we want few divisions should look different and few divisions should look different. All divisions should not look similar. Maybe last 3 you can say similar and first one should be different. So we'll write in this CSS using one method. Okay, let's do like this. Keep header and one call container. Write first ID, header only, second ID, container. ID as a header, ID as a, this content can be anything. It is not like it will be header only. It can be anything, right? This content can be anything. Okay. You can also add something similar. Okay, rotate. Let's come. Now in this method, we'll follow both the thing, two things. First for body tag. Background, assume green color. That becomes CSS by tag name. That becomes CSS by tag name. That becomes CSS by tag name. Okay. Come next. This is called ID. What is the ID? Header. So in CSS, how to create the ID? Using hash. And what is the name of the ID? Header. It is not only header, it can be ABC, XYZ, anything. Okay. Done. Next, after this, write some property for this header, adding 30 pixel, background, blue color, text align, center, color, white, adding background, text align plus color. Font size also you can write. 40-50 pixel. Check once where it is getting applied. It is applying one place or both or only one. See, it's happen only for header. It's happen only for header. Body background is green, so green will happen. Body background is green, green will happen. Now you have written for division ID equal to header. So it will apply only for first division. It will not apply for second division. Check once. Background, if you feel overload, difficult, you can change to some other color, pink color. Body background change to pink color. It will look not very overloaded color. It will look like this. It's apply only for the first division. It has not applied for the second division. Please check. Right? So how to create the ID? Using hash. How to call the ID? ID equal to particular. So in CSS, as soon as the CSS will see the hash, CSS will understand, oh, it is ID. And wherever you will call this ID, there this particular property will get applied. Now it is not division specific or paragraph specific or section. It is now ID specific. Where you call this ID, there it will get. And one ID you should not call two times. Like suppose you wrote header. Header you should not use two times in your current page. The reason is what? Duplicate will happen. Okay, in one house, two person cannot be named as a Ganesh. Possible? No. If two person name will be Ganesh, father will call a small Ganesh, big Ganesh will come. Right? Father will call a small big Ganesh, a small conflict will happen. Right? So in that case, what will happen? ID will be unique. In one page, one ID we should use only one time. Now CSS will work, but JavaScript will not work in the future. JavaScript will say one ID you are using two times. You want to apply for the second, I will apply for first itself. Your requirement is to apply for second division and JavaScript will apply for the first division. Why? Because ID is same. It will happen for first, it will not happen for second. So ID must be unique, else JavaScript will get fail. Okay, now come. Now write the CSS for container next. That is also one ID. Hash container. Hash container. Okay. Hash container. What it represent? See, both are division only. Both are division, but the design will be different. Because you are not writing the CSS for division now. You are writing the CSS for ID. Okay. And wherever you call the ID, there the CSS will get applied. Write here height of this division, somewhere 500 pixel. Background of the division, white color. Width of the division, assume 80%. Margin of the division, auto, that you have seen already. Right? Height 500, background is a white, width 80%, margin is a auto. Right? Check once what is happening. This will give a different design and header will give a different design. Hello. Java is not there. It will be after 1 month. जावा का ट्रेनर स्टार्ट ही नहीं एट क्लास. सब लोग को बोल बोल के परेशान हो गए. Okay, wrote it. Check now. Something like this. Both are same or different? Both are different. This is also division. This is also division. But CSS has changed the design of both. In previous example, first example you saw paragraph. All paragraph was looking same. But now all paragraph may not look same. We can give different ID for paragraph. And after that, we can write different design for all. Correct? So ID, what it represent? ID represent like tag will be same, but the design will be different. Okay. Then you'll ask in one page, how many times we can use the same ID? In one page, one ID you should not use many times, as I told you. Why? Because conflict will happen. JavaScript will be confused. One ID is many times. JavaScript will apply the functionality, but it will apply on wrong place. You want it somewhere else and it will happen somewhere else. Okay. We have a small theory for those or we'll be making. So now we'll copy this header section and come to the where? Developer guide. So how to create the ID? Using hash. How to write the CSS for tag name? Name of the tag, curly bracket, open, close, and property value. So something like this, right? Something we have written, we have not, it was not the intention to design something, was intention to understand both should be different. Okay, come to the developer guide again. Right inside CSS by ID. Example, this one. There you can write in one page one ID only one times. Not in one page, one ID, or we can write like this. One ID use only one time in one page. One ID use only one time in one page. One ID use only one time in one page. Okay, come next. That is called CSS for class. So example 6.html. Example 6.html. Okay. In this file, we will implement by class as well as ID as well as tag name, all three. HTML, head, style, body, right inside a division, header. Okay. Then next division, class equal to something, my block. N number of time, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Any number of time, your wish. Okay. Just write in the first call header. Come now, first write the CSS for body tag. Background, any color, pink. Okay, background color is a pink. Next, after that, so this becomes CSS for tag name. Now next write CSS for ID. That is called header. Has header. Background, blue color. Similar way, padding 20 px. Font size 40 px. Text align, center. Background blue, padding 20 px. Font size something. Save now. Color should be white. Color should be white. Check now, header is coming. Header will appear something like this. Next, after this, you will write call my block. So what is the my block? Is a class. Class will be starting using the dot. Okay, class name will be starting using the dot. Right here, margin 2%, background white or green, any color. Okay, width 21%, then height 300 px, then float left. Right, margin, background, height, float, 21% width. Why I have written? Because 4% will go in margin and 21% will be width. 21 plus 4, 25. So 4 block will fit in one line. Class you will create using the dot. ID you will create using the hash. Clear? Right now, something like this. Then I will ask when to use the class and when to use the ID. So in one page, one time you want any design, then you can use the ID. And in one page, you want similar design many times, then you will use the class. Class how many times? Multiple times. ID how many times? Only one time. We have theory for that. We'll make a note tomorrow. Now copy this and paste in developer guide. Last my blog. Save the file also. So hope look similar or something else. Okay. Thank you. See you tomorrow again.